There are people right now who believe that we're frugivores, basically monkeys, without hair. I have hair on my bum. I used to be one of them. Most of my channel was telling you how to do it, how to fail at it, really. So let's talk about it. I got some new points to discuss. Are we fruitarians or are we freaks of the night?
I am a vegan, you are a loser.
So first let me say, if you're thriving on a fruitarian diet, nothing but mangoes and water, then keep doing it. Don't listen to me. Don't let me discourage you. I'm a moron. I'll be changing my diet. I'm probably already fruitarian right now. As I upload this video next week, I'll be fruitarian. I'm doing it. I just want to talk about, as someone with experience in the fruitarian realms of existence, why I don't think it makes much sense. It wouldn't be our natural diet. First point is the water to calorie ratio and peeing all the time. There's too much water. There's too much pee. It makes no sense. Nobody needs that much sugar anyway. But you get enough calories to maintain your weight, you're going to be peeing like a champion racehorse. Does it make sense as our caveman ancestors just eating all this fruit and peeing 3 times a night, risking their lives to leave the cave, get attacked by a saber-toothed wolf just because they're peeing so much? It really is a huge inconvenience. If you're going somewhere, I go to play ping pong with my mom and there's washrooms there, but they close in October. So the rest of the year they're done for. Me, I never pee. Peeing's overrated. As a fruitarian, I'd be bringing a smoothie with me. I would have had a melon before I left. Just my whole life is peeing. But to me, that's why it doesn't make sense to have the base of your calories as fruit. There's just too much water. It doesn't make, especially watermelon and some of the higher water content food, maybe bananas and dates. But then you kind of feel thirsty after them. Even the fruitarians know that. And don't even get me started on pooing too much. Same deal. I just remember on the medical medium approach going like 4, maybe 5 times a day. I'm like, how did I even eat that much? It multiplies in your body. Who has time for that? Not me. So to me, those are just some of the common sense warning signs, like, something ain't right here. My body doesn't want all this. It's getting rid of most of it. And I'm skinny now. Another obvious sign, people say we're frugivores. I've seen the charts. Frugivore, carnivore, humans. Oh, look, we're just like the monkey. Teeth. Oh, we have the perfect mouth and jaw to chew. Why does fruit hurt then? Why does it hurt the teeth if they're so perfectly designed for it? They corrode with the acids. You ever seen a monkey's teeth? They're yellow, bitter, angry. Fruit literally hurts my mouth to eat it. Some, like kiwis, that burns the tongue. Pineapple, ow. But any fruit, sugar, teeth, connection, no. When I'm eating meat and veggies, I can feel my teeth getting stronger by the minute. They're just like, oh, the minerals getting soaked up. The strengthening effect of the raw meat. If you eat the raw meat, don't do it. You might get a sack of a gallbladder worm in there. You mix it with a cantaloupe seed. You blend it, make nut milk. That's nut milk now. I've heard some fruitarians say fruit healed their teeth. So nobody knows what the hell's happening. All I know is in my body, fruit hurts my mouth. And I've seen many fruitarians getting cavities. I probably have 15 cavities right now. But people saying our teeth are designed for fruit and we couldn't possibly rip through meat. We have tools. Like, you couldn't possibly chew through white rice raw. So let's be real, vegan freak. But like, yeah, you can totally chew meat. I've done it. Just some tough cuts are tough in the cut region. It really is a dumb argument to think that, oh, you can't eat anything that you need a tool for. It's like you need a tool for almost anything. To get food, these high-reaching trees, you need a pole with a little scooper thing. Boom. If you're eating a watermelon, are you gonna smash it against the ground and eat it with your hand? Like, you cut it with tools and a spoon. Your rice and beans need a stove and a pot to cook, freak. The meat needs a knife to fillet it and get the fur off, you freak. Why are you eating cougar fur? Another problem with fruit, in my opinion, is the sugar to protein and fat ratio is way too high on that sugar. You don't need that much sugar ever, unless you're like constantly running all the time and you never stop. You just run and you stop to eat and poo and pee, and then run and then pee again, and then run and poo, and then run and eat, and then poo and then pee. If that's your life, fruit's great. If that's what you want to do, you have an island, you poo on it, that's good. I was watching that interview with Charlie Freak and Josh X, and they're both vegans, and Josh is a bodybuilder, and so he went vegan and fruitarian. He's like, yeah, you can do this, but he was eating 10,000 calories a day, and it was like every hour.
And if you can maintain on a fruit diet, i.e., you rise, you have a big 1.5 liter fresh orange juice, an hour later, a wonderful smoothie, 5 bananas, a mango, some orange juice, beautiful. For lunch, you could have cucumbers, avocados, chop some tomatoes in there, and keep it fruit-based, have as big as you want, kilos and kilos, and consume that. An hour later, you could consume an orange juice. An hour later, you can consume a smoothie. For the supper time with the family, you could consume another great big dish of, if you were training and you weren't completely fruit-based and you wanted to consume a few nuts and seeds, you could. But again, you could make the biggest bowl of ice cream, nice cream, and you can consume ice cream. All of these things can be done a part of your simple diet, and this will give you the most optimum physiology for training, for living, for nutrition.
It's just your entire life is dedicated to that, whereas like I'm building muscle eating once a day. I barely think about food. I know I have a freak show that's all about food, but I never think about it. I know what I'm eating tonight. I took out ground lamb. It's in there, defrosting. And I'm gonna have that with some cabbage, some beef suet, olives, avocado. I don't think about that. I know it's there, waiting for me when I get hungry around 3:30 p.m. One meal a day, and it's not much food. It's like 2,000 calories. Sometimes on the raw meat, it was like 1,300 calories. I'm satiated, I'm done. I was feeling energized too, so it's just so much food. I think they're eating just to get that little bit of protein that I'm getting in my 1,300 calories. That's why they're eating so much. You couldn't possibly use that much sugar. It's the whole sugar to protein, fat, and water ratio is off.
It takes a lot to maintain muscle mass. So naturally the body wants to do what's simple for itself. So you have to force it to grow. So you have to force feed and you have to train. So I would be consuming at my peak 10,000 calories a day, consuming maybe 10 to 12 meals a day. And I would wake up in the night and consume, a smoothie or an orange juice that I'd made by the side of the bed to just wake up and drink and then go back to sleep. Because I knew that if I didn't consume the amount I needed, literally within a day or two, you would not have the same size or the same strength or the volumization of the muscles. So if most people, most men search for, the 100 kilo bench press. But I was able to bench press 100 kilo in one set 52 times.
Then we get to the taste. This should be the first warning sign. Yes, fruit is delicious in small amounts. It gets old fast. Within 2 mangoes, you're like, sweet. Like your second fruit meal after that sweet meal, it's like it's too much sweet. You know you're lacking something. It's like, oh, not sweet again. I know there are some people out there who bask in the glory of fruit. They love it sweet all the time. They can't wait. Not me. I love savory. I don't even want fruit. I got some wild strawberries the other day. Had 3 of them. 3 whole strawberries. They weren't even good. I was like, I ain't missing nothing here. Meat and veggies, that's all you need. And finally, just the basic logistics of getting a fruit-based diet into your house. The amount of shopping, the cost of it. I'll never forget when I quit carnivore because I got that colitis flare-up from the dairy, and I'm back to fruit-based, and I'm shopping in the grocery store, and I have this big watermelon, all these bananas. I'm like, oh, this sucked. I remember this so hard. Doing that all the time, and you go, huge basket, all you could possibly carry, and that's like a day's worth, maybe 2. You gotta shop like 4 times a week minimum. Me personally, right now, I go get a bunch of grass-fed lamb, freeze it. I shop like once a week. I'm spending so much less too somehow. Some weeks I spend like $10 because I bought so much, like 200 the prior, but it's much less cost and much less weight to carry. Like I get the odd bit of lemons and avocados and stuff like that, but it's not like my whole life dedicated to moving food into my house, eating some of it, pooing out most of it, and then peeing on the remains. You would have to completely rework the entire infrastructure of all cities if there was a bunch of fruitarians coming in. You need toilets on every corner, fruit stands every 3 blocks. Just this wouldn't work. Actually, it sounds like paradise. Oh, sign me up. So even though the fruit-based diet sounds fun on paper, even though there's no fruit in nature, I don't know what nature you're living in, but the nature I see, birds have already eaten most of it. You can't reach a damn thing. Nothing's ripe for more than 2 weeks at a time. It sounds fun on paper, but putting it into practice, there's just so many things that go haywire with it. So I can't see it. Even if it was the path and we find out how to do it, it's like the pain in the ass that diet is. I don't think it's possible for the mankind that we need to be. So I'm gonna leave. Thanks for thumbing up the video. Thumbs down. If you only eat lemons to prove me wrong, that lemons strengthen the teeth, I doubt it's true. That's how you get gingivitis. Common sense, there's no calories in it. The sugar to calorie ratio that I said previously is even worse in lemons. So how are you going to thrive on it? Can't build muscle. It's costly too. There's a lot of peels. What do you do with the peels? Yeah. I'm gonna leave. Thanks for buying it. Subscribe, remember this anything? You missed out on a ton that could have been. My God. My God. What could have been? How close can you go? Wow. Which eye is in focus? That's the eye right there. Is that good content? Do I have keto eyes? Am I dying? Are my kidneys weakening by the second? Should I go fruitarian? I'm going fruitarian. How close can we get? My God. Are my eyes deceiving you? Do I have blue eyes, but they're getting browner with the meat? Is that what's happening? How close can we? Oh, we reached it. I'm gonna go. Subscribe, and that's it.